Hello, good morning, and welcome to this week's guest episode of Martin's Money Tips. We've got an expert on today.
Don't mention what I do. Fucking idiot.
Anyway, no, it's the Funnyfarm pod. This week we have Chris, and we also have Anna on today. Anna Brooks. If you remember her, is it your husband? Yeah, well, your husband, because you're a Brooks, yeah? Her husband was on, unless you've funnily got the same surname, I don't know. His husband was on a few weeks ago. It was Jake Brooks, who's a really good Liverpool fan, actually. We had a good conversation about slot, and Anna come out with some nonsense. But there you go. Anyway.
It did prove me wrong. I had faith, and I was wrong to have faith, so I'll own that.
You're not a Liverpool fan, though, are you, Anna?
No, I'm a Sheffield United supporter.
Sheffield.
I'm used to being disappointed.
Is that with Jake or with football?
Well, both, yeah, to be fair.
That's why she's got a booster under the desk.
Quite funny, actually, because I did Anna and Jake's gig was it about a month ago? Near work, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Near work, near workshop. And it was quite amusing because, like, Jake MC'd it and Anna came on and did a bit, and you do 10, 15 minutes or whatever, didn't you?
Yeah.
And literally both of them just slated each other. It was quite funny.
So you're a comedian as well?
Well, yeah. He says I can't let him have anything. That's what he says, and that's why there's two versions of how I got into it, and Chris has heard one of them because I do it as a bit of a set. So there's because we've got our own podcast as well, as you know, and I had a bet with my daughter that if I did 5 stand-up appearances, that she would come on the podcast.
Right.
So I've done way more than that now, and she's actually scheduled to be the next guest. But the skit that I do is about my first husband, and it is true that when I was leaving him, his pitch to get me to stay was nobody will ever love you, you'll get fat and old and ugly, you've got no personality and you're not funny.
Nice.
My wife says that to me every day.
And I was like, when Jake started doing it, I kind of went, well, and I was driving around one day and I went, I've written a joke. And Jake was like, well, why don't you come and do 5 minutes then and see how you get on? And I did, and I roofed it. And I was like, okay, I quite like this. It's quite funny. So I've stuck to it. And yeah, it's very different to the day job. The day job's obviously quite serious and corporate and boring. So it's nice to just be a little bit more me, which is fun.
I think there's a lesson to be learned here. Like, basically, your ex-husband or whatever he was. I mean, let me just put it out there. If there's any chance that you see this podcast, you're a fucking idiot, mate. Saying that stuff, and you're wrong about it all, aren't you? Because she's very funny, and she's a beautiful-looking lady, and it's your.
Although I have put a bit of weight on since then, but I don't.
But I'll tell you what. I'll reiterate that as well, because what happens when you're happy is you put a bit of weight on, because it's called being comfortable in your life and being happy. So that basically means that this previous prick didn't make you happy. So there we go.
I'd still be there. So
Look, I'm losing shitloads at the moment. What's going on?
You've probably got cancer, mate. I don't know.
I lost me hair.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I thought about something.
I couldn't cope if I did that.
I thought about something because I've lost loads of weight as well, and I used to do a joke about, like, taking advice when you first start doing comedy. It's actually all over the internet. It's got quite a decent amount of views, but I used to liken myself to Peter Kay, and I thought I can't use that anymore, because I used to say you're fat like Peter Kay, and I was a lot bigger. I was like 23 stone. But he's lost fucking loads of weight now, so I'm going to try it tonight at the gig that I'm doing tonight, and see if that works. So yeah, we'll find that.
Well, I got brave this week, and I MC'd for the first time.
Yes, how did that go? I saw that online.
I kind of stepped in last minute, so I didn't have time to worry about it, which is probably a good thing. But actually, it was all right.
Was this at the gig I was supposed to?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was. It was good.
That day, that day I do apologise for not being there. I was gutted I couldn't come. But I'd I'm still going through it. I've had like a week of fucking medical hell. I've posted on it on Facebook about it. It's like been horrible. Like bloods last week, and then like 3 or 4 follow-ups this week for my diabetes and liver. And on that day, I had to go for an ultrasound on the day of the gig. I'd not been able to eat all day, and then they were going to be prodding me with this. So in the end, I just thought I felt really ill. I think a bit of anxiety in that, but. Apologies to everyone for me not turning up at that gig. I hope they'll rebook me because I really do look forward to doing that one.
It's you know, I've done it, and obviously I'm seeing it now, and it's a lovely little room. It's a really nice gig.
Great.
Were you supposed to MC it, Chris?
No, I was closing it.
I thought you just dropped down at it.
No, Callum was going to MC it, but he was running late at work, and April weren't feeling too hot, so Jake went, well, why don't you ask Anna? Because Jake was on it, and he was like, why don't you ask Anna? She's coming anyway. She wants to grow. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a crack and see what happens. I'm going to put some footage out later, actually, because Jake videoed me introducing him, so I'll put that out later.
How did you find it, though? Because MCing is complete, for people who aren't comedy aware, MC is completely different to doing a set. So when you go out and do a set, you kind of stick to, well, a little bit of a roadmap of where you are, depending on, I mean, some people will have strict, like I've only got 10 minutes, so I've got to stick to that, or whatever. MCing is a little bit more loosey-goosey, so you kind of do a bit. How did you approach it, and how did you find it?
I found it a little bit weird because I don't feel confident with crowd work. I can't say I don't like it because when it happens naturally, it works quite well, but I don't feel confident with it. So it was proper like way out my comfort zone. But I think because a lot of them go regularly, they're used to the format. So I did a bit of like chatty. There were a couple of bits that flowed quite naturally into jokes that I'd got. One of the women that was there does teaches chair aerobics for like older people. And I do a bit about me going back to the gym and end up walking like C-3PO. So it kind of flowed quite naturally into a joke that I'd got anyway. So it felt it felt all right. I'll definitely do it again. And I've just started, for the first time in ages, I've actually got some new material down that I actually tried out while I was MCing because it's list based. So I was like, well, I can have it in front of me, and then if I get it wrong, it's fine. I've got it written down.
Yeah.
And it slapped. So I was like, okay, cracking.
Yeah.
I've just registered to do Beat the Frog.
Good.
What? Is this a French guy going to whack him with a stick or something? He said, you know what? You're French. He's just like Michael Jackson.
You say that about, do I talk like Michael Jackson all the time? Like, any impression? You sound like Michael Jackson. That was more like one of the fucking chipmunks, wasn't it? That.
Yeah. Alvin.
So what's Beat the Frog? What's Beat the Frog?
Anyway.
Beat the Frog's probably the most well-known Gong show in the UK, probably.
I think probably, yeah. For us, because we're north, you've got King Gong, haven't you, which is the comedy store Gong down in London. They used to do that in Manchester. I beat the Gong at Manchester years ago, but I pulled out of doing the one in London. I've done Beat the Frog twice. And I've not got through twice. I think I got to just under 4 minutes both times. But I think, like, we've talked about Gong shows so much on this pod because obviously we've had most of our guests have been comedians. And like you love them or hate them. I think some people's sets are built for gongs. If you're very boom, 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 one-liners, or if you're quite short-form comedy, it's built for it. If you're not short form, then you've got to kind of work it so that you make your bits snappier. So
and this is why I started writing some new material, because I know my standard set is not built for that format. That's not what it's for. So I started writing some new material that was a bit more short and snappy to try and purely for that purpose. So we'll see how it goes. July.
I think if you are, I mean, I've beat loads of gongs. You know, I've done tons of them, and I'd say most of them, percentage-wise, I've got through the 5 minutes and got to the final. Beat the Frog's one that I've not. I've, like I say, King Gong, I did that, and most of them, the gongs I've done for Spiky Mike. Since I came back in November 24, I've done 5 for him, and I did 1 for Ian Whitcomb, and I beat the gong on all of those. So, and I'm a little bit more situational, as you know, a bit more anecdotal. So the key is, like, try and shorten them down as much as you can. So if you could take a bit of the waffle out, do so. But open with 2 or 3 kind of get them on board jokes, like a couple of snappy ones to get them on board. And that I think you'd be fine. I will say that
any material on, and give us a shout out. Chris will tell you I've got some really good jokes.
a little bit like Michael Jackson then, didn't it?
I've been doing this thing for years. Whenever we go on holiday, and I started it when me and daughter first started travelling together 7 or 8 years ago. Like observations that you make about things on holiday, like things we've learnt today. And there's also, I've got all sorts of random stuff on this list, like, I don't know, things from Dutch people leaving towels out all night and all sorts of random things. So I'm trying to turn that into a bit of a set. I did it, which bit did I do? I was talking, Tuesday night I was talking about, there's always Sandra from Mansfield that comes out to do a land grab, like we're going back out to colonise the world or something. That seemed to work really well, so I'll keep playing with it and then we'll see where I get to.
Yeah. And you're relatively new, aren't you, Anna? How long have you been doing it?
Weirdly, my first gig is before I thought it was. So my first gig was November 24 or early December 24.
Right.
So I've been at it over a year, but I did take about 6 months out because I did Ultra last Christmas, like last December, was my Ultra gig. And I kind of went, right, I'm going to stop until I've done that and then I'll pick it back up again. So I've properly picked it back up again this year and trying to do some more, but like full-time jobs and kids and whatever else, it's hard work sometimes, as you'll know, Chris. It's not.
I think you find out everyone you speak to is quite similar to that, aren't they? You know, we're not pro level. I get paid for bits and bobs, but not like regular. So it's like you've got to do other stuff. And I'm really lucky this time, you know, every other time. So when people say to me, how long have you been doing comedy? I always go, 16 years. 15, 16 years is when I started. I did it for 2 or 3 years. And then since then, it's been on and off and more off than on. You know, I think like the last 18 months since I came back, when I've been solidly doing it, I don't think there's been many weeks where I've not gigged, really. And I've probably done over 150 gigs in that time space since November 24. So it'll be 2 years in November. I consider that's when I came back properly. But every other time I've had like massive commitment to family or work. I've had corporate jobs, which you'll know. You know, I've been in recruitment for 13 years, and that's the first reason that I gave up, was because I was working for Hayes Recruitment. I was coming home from work, going to a gig, getting up, going to work. It was literally just like, you know, wasn't doing a gig every night, but even if you do 1 or 2 and you're up at 6 in the morning and then you're not getting in till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, it doesn't work. So that was the reason that I quit. So everybody's got that. I'm lucky now that I've got my business into a place where it kind of works. And it's kind of not low maintenance, but it's not full on. I can do this stuff. So it's great. I'm very fortunate at the moment. But that could all go tits up. You know, that could all go wrong. You know, if my business takes a nosedive, which could happen at any point, you know, I could be back looking for corporate work again.
You still got to pay the bills at the end of the day, haven't you? And everybody looks at people that are like, oh, you must be making loads of money. Well, no, that's not how it works. You might drive an hour or 2 hours to get 20, 30, 40 quid if you're lucky. Or just do it for the love of it. You know, I think it's costing me more money than I'm making, definitely.
Well, the truth of it is that, you know, and it's been historically, it's actually a little bit better now than it was when I first started, because a lot of these, I mean, there was bucket splits and stuff like that, but that was predominantly like a Edinburgh thing or a festival thing where you put a bucket out and you get a bit of cash from that. When I first started, sort of 16 years ago, you would literally just get on any bill that you could, and you would travel wherever you were going for nothing at all. So it'd be, now you do get promoters that will chuck the 10 spots a bit of money, and you know, you've got obviously like the bucket split new material nights that you can jump on. I think the lucky thing is for us is that around like your area and around the East Midlands, there's quite a lot of new material, so you can kind of get some gigs that are within an hour of travel. But it's weird when you do stand up. I'm like, if somebody offers me a gig and I'll Google how far from home it is, if it says 80 miles, I'm like, well, that's local. That's quite local.
Yeah, the only one, I googled one the other day, and I think it was going to be a 4-hour round trip, and I'm like, no, that's too far.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone up to Hartlepool. I did a gig for Peter Vincent up at Hartlepool, and that's 3.5, 4 hours, and it went quite well. I did one up in Spennymoor, and that wasn't a great gig. I didn't do very well. I didn't die, but it wasn't brilliant, and I went on my own. That one, the Hartlepool one, Jane came with me. That's painful. If you go and you don't have such a great gig, and then you've got to drive 4 hours home, it's like, bloody hell. I mean, the Frog and Bucket is probably, 2.5 hours, maybe less for yourself, probably about 2 hours.
Yeah, I think it's 2 hours, and with it being it's a Monday night, isn't it? I'll hopefully touch wood, get somebody to come with me, so if I die on my arse, I haven't got to drive back on the way.
Where's that?
Manchester.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, right in the centre of Manchester. I tell you what, have you been to the Frog before, Anna?
No, I've been to Creatures. I've been to see a couple of gigs at Creatures, and I'm trying to get on there as well. So I might try and, if I can double up while I'm down there, probably not work, but it'd be ideal if I can get on both while I'm there.
Well, the only problem with that is, like, if you get through to the final, you're there all night at the Frog. So
yeah.
Don't know if Creatures do a later show. I'm not sure. So I've never done.
I don't think they do for New Act. I've spoken to Creatures about doing their New Act night. I just need to get back on it and get over there. But I need to make it sure that it's 2 days I'm working from home or whatever, so that if I get home late, it's not as big a deal for going, because my office is in Nottingham. So driving to Nottingham the next morning when you've been out late, it's not happening.
Yeah, I've known a few people who work right smack in the middle of knots, isn't it? Yeah. So you said there if you might get someone to go with you, so if you die in your heart. I wouldn't ever take a gong. If you get gonged off, don't take it as a death. Literally, there's going to be 150 people in that room. I don't know what. It's always full. Every time I've been, it's been full. It's a beautiful room to play. It's an absolutely stunning room to play. And your fate is chosen by 2 or 3 members of that audience. So, it's not even, it's a tiny, tiny amount,
I've always said this, comedy's so subjective.
Yeah.
Like people find it funny or they don't, and like there's comedians that I find hilarious that Jake doesn't like. Michael McIntyre being a prime one. I think Michael McIntyre is dead funny, but Jake hates him.
I'm not a Michael McIntyre fan either.
Well, there's loads of people that aren't. It's just some of his situational stuff that I think's great. And I know I've got jokes that sometimes land and sometimes don't, just purely dependent on who the audience is. Because obviously a lot of my stuff is about me and being of a certain age. It's not going to land with youngsters. 18-year-olds don't get it.
Yeah, that gig that I did for you is a prime example of that, because April did one of the best gigs I've ever seen her do at that gig. She smashed it.
She absolutely did.
But the people who came in at the back left during her set because of the cancer stuff.
Yeah.
So they were like, I can't listen to this, and it was one person, but they all went because of it. And that it wasn't like they were saying that April was shit or anything like that. It obviously just triggered something in the memory. So. Yeah, but the last time I did the Frog and Bucket, you must know Jim Bob. He's up that way, isn't he?
I don't. Do you know what? I don't. No.
I can't remember what he's. Is it Laughing Stock that he's part of? Jim Bob was there. He's a good comedian. There was a guy called Henning. I can't remember what his surname is. Very good comedian, about my age. Me, Jim Bob, and him all got gonged off. The person that won it and the final was all young or diverse acts. It was like we literally, I think, suffered that night for being older. and we just rolled off like quite quickly. Well, 3.40, I think I got to.
Yeah.
So it's an experience.
Jake keeps saying to me the only reason I'm still doing it is because I've got tits.
I should do it. I should have a go.
It's the amount of times he said that. He says, you've got tits, you'll find it much easier than I ever have. I was like, yes, but you've got tits. So...
It's one of those things. I mean, like I was talking to somebody the other day, and I can't remember who it was, and he basically said that when he runs gigs, when he books a gig, he'll put the advert out and he'll say, I'm looking for, I don't know, a middle spot or whatever it may well be. And he'll say, I'll get like 40 applicants for each spot, right? And he says 35 of that 40 will be from people that look like me. So white, middle class, middle-aged men, yeah? And the 5 that he gets will be diverse, so female, gay, trans, whatever it may well be, ethnic minority, whatever it is. And he says like 2 or 3 of those will be decent, so they're like they've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting the gig. Whereas for me, it's a lot. There's a lot more competition out there. So what I would say is Jake's kind of right and he's kind of wrong, because you won't get gigs just because you've got tits.
People, fashion, in which case,
maybe so. Depends what kind of club you're in.
Oh, I'm desperate to do that gig. I'm so desperate to do that.
I'm desperate to be in the audience.
Charlie, don't be that man. Don't be that creep. but I think like if you are good, then you have got more chance of being booked than I have. So it's one of them. It's like, and I'm not moaning about that, by the way. I think we need to like get diversity on comedy bills and stuff like that. And it's like, there's a lot of people out there that, you've heard it, haven't you? Well, I don't really like female comedians. I think those people have just not seen good ones. I honestly do, because there's a lot of really good female comedians out there.
Right, female comedians. Go my word.
Who's your favourite? Who would you say would be your favourite female comedian?
Mine?
Yeah.
What, on the circuit like that I gig with now?
No, just generally.
I like that blonde Canadian woman. I don't know what her name is. She's really funny. She's Canadian. She is. Blonde girl.
I know what you mean, but I can't think of a name either.
Yeah.
Pasco.
I'll Google it.
I love Sarah Millican.
Same.
Yeah.
If you go in like famous, I love Lucy Beaumont. I think she's really good. Lucy Porter's really good. I mean, you can name like loads of like the ones that are on TV and stuff. They're all good, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
I mean, like there's a load of
Catherine
people.
Ryan.
Catherine Ryan. There's loads of people out there that slate Rosie Jones, isn't there? I'm not a fan of Rosie Jones, and I don't like the stuff she's come out with regards to Gervais and Jimmy Carr and all that. But she's obviously funny. She makes people laugh. She's on TV, for God's sake,
Yeah.
If we look locally, the one that I think stands out for me, like on the local scene, apart from yourself, Anna, is Kate.
Sorry, I missed that.
Kate Robb.
Oh, I've not seen her yet. I need
Brilliant.
to.
She's really good. I think, like, she puts a whole different kind of spin on stuff. She's quite deadpan. She's quite relaxed and stuff, and she gives her husband a lot of shit on stage, and it's just refreshing. She's very good. Her timing's good. She writes good material. Yeah. So she's probably my favourite, like, local. Debbie Holt's doing really well. Really like Debbie as a relatively new act. She's really good. April's doing well.
Right.
There's loads. I like. Have you seen Slightly Psychic Cynthia, Liz Johnson?
No, I haven't.
Like an alternative act with a puppet. She's very good. There's loads. You can just keep naming them. And so for people who say I don't really like female comedians, just not seeing good ones. Dawn Bailey. I forgot about Dawn Bailey. How good she,
I didn't realise how blue Sarah Millican was. Me dad.
Oh, she's really rude.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind he's 90, he was round at ours the other week, and like probably the other month. He's been in hospital for ages, yeah, we just had Sarah Milliken on. There was me wife, and me dad sat in the living room, and it's like being back to being a teenager. You know, the stuff she was going out with. I'm like, oh.
But I think a lot of it's in her delivery, you know, her voice and her timing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But you
She
don't
just
realise
delivers it, and it takes a second to register that that's what she said. It's like, I love her. I think she's great.
But if you look at the fact that she's married to Gary Delaney,
Gary. We went to Hot Water to do one of the Zoe's Place nights that the Have a Word pod guys put on, and Gary Delaney was on that bill, and I'd not heard of Gary Delaney till that night. I didn't know he was. Now, I'm not generally a one-liner type list. I don't generally find it funny. Now, I was crying by the end of Gary Delaney's set. What a guy! He is just absolutely brilliant.
it's the same as any form of comedy, like we just said. If you say you don't like female comedians, you've just not seen a good one. If you say you don't like one-liner comedy, you've just not seen a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, Gary Delaney. Obviously Jimmy Carr. Loads. A lot of his sets one-liners, but they're dark, they're edgy, and like when people say, "Can you say anything on stage?" These guys can say anything they want on stage because the jokes are just so fucking funny. You can get away with it.
But as long as it's grounded in something rather than just being a dick. It's like when it's not funny, it's generally funny because you're trying to be funny and you're being horrible at the same time. It's like if you ground it in something, then it's funny. It's like I could talk about female stuff and menopause stuff till it comes out of my ears because it's grounded in what I know. So anybody that doesn't find it funny or finds it offensive just doesn't get it because they've not lived it. And I think that's that. I love Jimmy Carr. My daughter's 23. Her fiance, he laughs like Jimmy Carr.
Sound like Michael Jackson.
It's like when he gets going, it's like, "Hello, Jimmy," and then once he's started, that's it. You can't stop him. So yeah.
I love Jimmy Carr. I think they should put him that show that he does where they have to make each other laugh. I don't think Jimmy Carr would stand 10 minutes of that. I think he'd just be.
It's good, that show, isn't it? Yeah, I watched the first two series of that.
What's he called?
Not just for
Just for laughs or something like that, isn't it? I can't. Hey, it's a great show. We've waffled quite a bit, haven't we, and chatted shit.
I've got a real important question for Anna.
Go on. It's going to be football. See it coming.
We're not ready for the finale yet, Charlie.
No. It's not the big finale. Don't worry.
Oh, go on then, Charlie. I'll have a vape.
I want to ask because you're a diehard Sheffield United fan, aren't you?
I am.
And you're obviously happy to see Sheffield Wednesday get that look, the look.
So I am firmly of the belief that Sheffield is a big enough city for two clubs.
Yeah.
And all, like Liverpool is.
Liverpool is, yeah. I wouldn't like. I know sometimes I'll probably say I'd love to see Everton get relegated, but I remember the glory days when Liverpool and Everton in the 80s were like, bossing the league, and it was great.
I wanted Derby to come up to the Prem, mate. I really wanted Derby to come up so we could play them again. I love it.
I mean, what Chansiri was able to do to that club was criminal. And I would not have wanted to see the club fold. That said, there are some pockets of that fan base that are vile. And I know you get it with any fan base, right? It's not isolated to Wednesday. You get it with everyone.
When County were in the shit, when they were going into administration, loads of the Forest fans went and supported them and got barracked by the fucking Notts County fans. Do you know what I mean? It's like we went to, well, I never went, but people went to support Notts County, get them back, and they just gave the Forest fans shit. So it's like, and that is like that's a minority thing, isn't it? It's like hooligans and stuff probably that were doing that. But
I'm glad they survived, but I'm also glad they got relegated. So I can't.
That wasn't my big question, by the way. I've got a bigger question. I just was curious about that. What do you think of women's football?
Now that's a really leading question. Now, So I guess I am of an age where girls didn't really play football. Because what I'm
Still can't.
I am rapidly approaching 50, and when I was at school, girls didn't play football.
Yeah.
I don't watch women's football. As a woman, I don't watch women's football.
Why, Anna? Why don't you watch it?
It's not fast enough for me. It's slower. Yes, they've got skill. Yes, it's nice to see them playing, but it just doesn't move at the pace that I enjoy watching football at. And I'd rather watch the men's game. Watch the men. I mean, Jake will have told you if there's football on, it's on in the house.
Fans, aren't you?
That's the debate every night: is which game are we watch? If Liverpool aren't playing and Sheffield aren't playing, who are we watching? Which game are we putting on? We'll watch anything. So we don't watch it. It's like there are really good female commentators, and I don't mind that. If they want to put a female on the bill, I'm all right with that. There are also, I can swear, can't I? There are also really shit female commentators that shouldn't be allowed anywhere near a microphone. I mean that Eni Aluko, I think she's gone now, hasn't she? Thank God, because she was awful. I like Bianca Westwood. She's been around for donkey years, and she's rubbish as well. Get rid of her. But there's some good ones. I like Alex Scott. I like it when she's on the TV. Gabby Logan's always been brilliant. Lord Willis is great.
Yeah, she's great, isn't she, Gabby Logan?
But Gabby Yoreth.
Yeah.
Who's available.
Yeah,
when she got married.
Yeah, I'd rather stick to the men's game, and I'll die on that.
It's good to get your view as a female on the women's sport, because
was it one of the Barcelona players who him and his missus both play for Barcelona or somebody, and she'd come out and said that they should both be paid the same because they do the same job. No, you don't.
That's just mad. It's like that's like saying that people who work in the council should be paid the same as people who work in recruitment who bill shitloads of money, right? Because it's like what you bring to the table is what you should get paid. Yeah. If the women's game grew to the level of support that the men's game got, then I'd fully agree. I'd be like, yeah, pay them £100,000 a week because they're earning it. They're bringing that revenue in.
But it's the men's game that brings in the revenue. So the men get the lion's share. That's how it works. And I don't necessarily agree with the men's game subsidising the women's game either. I get that.
I think it's got to a certain degree. It's got to, because
it has, but I'd like to say I'm a feminist, but it should be about equity, not equality. Now, if we've got to take from the men to get what we're doing, we're not really doing it.
Good point.
You've always got to earn it for yourself. And I've said this too. I've got a friend that works in Australia and works in the iron mines in Australia. Right, and I believe that women can do any job. They can. Whether they should or not is a different question. They had a woman employed in this iron mine over in Australia, and they had to change all the health and safety regulations to allow for the female physiology because she couldn't do the same hours. She had to take more frequent breath, that sort of stuff. Now, if you've got to change it to that extent, they shouldn't be doing it. So, if they're earning it in their own right, they're earning it in their own right. And they'll get the facilities paid for and all that sort of stuff. But, as a company, you get paid a share of what you bring in. Like, I get a bonus based on what I've delivered at work. It should be exactly the same in the women's game. If they're bringing it in, they get a share of it. That's it.
Yeah. And I applied to be a bra fitter and didn't get it. I don't know.
That's because you...
Bigger.
That's because the portfolio was pictures of me.
I regularly test Charlie's breast to see if he does.
Just with your Everton shirt pulled up, Charlie, yeah?
Yeah. I think it's like the same as anything. Like if you've got if you go back to the comedy world, female comedians, if they get to the same level as the male comedians, should get paid exactly the same. There's no different. And I think you're dead right. I don't, I remember going to a boxing thing just up the road here. It was with my, God rest his soul, Charlie, my father-in-law, such a lovely guy, loved boxing. We went up to watch some amateur boxing at the local pub up here. We had a great night, and then 2 girls came out and started fighting. And he was from London. He turned around and went, "Fucking hell, mate, I'm not fucking watching this shit." And he walked off and went to the bar. He said, "I'm not watching." And it was 2 young girls fighting, and he said, "I don't believe that should be happening." And I guess that's an antiquated view. It's an old view, but. Going back to the football...
It's a generational thing, isn't it? I mean, Anna was saying before she grew up in an era where women didn't play football.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the football, Anna, because you're like the perfect wife as far as I'm concerned. My missus will watch Forest and she'll watch England, but like anything else is like, why is the football on? And my mum's the same, she hates it. When my mum comes round, we send Jane and her upstairs while we're watching the football. They go and watch something on telly upstairs. And we've asked this question, so me and Charlie have both probably answered this in the previous pods. If you were to like equate women's football to men's football, what league would the women be in the men's league?
Ooh. You've probably got to be League One, League Two.
Do you think?
Yeah. I think the disparity that you've got is the men when you get to, and I've said this, dropping from Premier League to Championship is a bit of a weird one because the game's so much more physical the further down your leagues you get.
Yeah.
And obviously the longer seasons. So, and I think that's the challenge is if you put them down there, the style of play would be very different. Quality is probably the same, but the style of play would be very different because the women's game is just not as physical.
Yeah. So I think that's fair. And I think I said that I reckon if you put Arsenal's academy team against some of the women's teams, I think they'd struggle.
Yeah.
And it is just like, you can't ignore physiology, can you? It's like some jobs, some things are more attuned to the male body and some are more attuned to the female body.
And regardless of how you look at it, the women will never be as fast or as strong because we're not built that way. That's not what we're built to do. We're built to do other stuff. So, we're never going to be that. It's like where do you stand on the Celtic and Rangers if you put them in the Premier League? Where would they end up?
I don't think they'd be Prem.
No.
I don't think they'd be Prem. I think they might be Championship.
I'll go with that.
We've said that. You throw them in and let them have it. Let them have at it. But if they're in, they're in. They can't decide that they don't like it.
I think it'd be exciting if they are in. I think it'd be great.
You reckon they'd be in Prem?
No,
I think after one season they'd be relegated, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you look at the sides that have been relegated from the Prem, and I don't think that Celtic and Rangers would stand up to West Ham.
Look at Tottenham. You know what I mean?
Tottenham and others.
They narrowly missed out on relegation, didn't they? They wouldn't stand a chance against Tottenham.
No.
Yeah,
but I'd love to see it happen just to play the experiment.
I think it should happen. I think it should be amalgamated more, but it certainly helps Scottish football. It really, if it did get joined up, I suppose your away games are going to be a bit more challenging, but
and that's enough of a challenge at the minute, isn't it? Away games, right? Nobody wants an away to Portsmouth on a Tuesday night.
Would you have to bring like Welsh teams and Irish teams into it then? And then instead of playing an England side, you'd play a Great Britain side?
Well, Welsh teams are already there, aren't they? Cardiff, Wrexham, Swansea. You've got all these teams are already there. So it kind of beggars belief that there would be that difference. But yeah, I suppose if you were up in Glasgow and you've got Bournemouth or vice versa, that's a trek, isn't it? For fans more than the players will just get on a plane, won't they?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But, for the fans,
it's going to be cheaper for fans to get on a plane as well at that point.
Yeah. I've done like business trips in Glasgow. I've had to go up to depots when I was working in rail recruitment, and I'm like, bloody hell. I said to my boss, "Fuck me, I'm going to have to be up at like 2 o'clock in the morning to get there." He's like, "We'll book you a plane, mate. We'll book you." And it was like just drop on the bus down to East Midlands, like 30 minutes in the air, and I'm landing in Glasgow. It's great.
See, I've always driven because for me to drive to East Midlands is obviously it's an hour and a half. An hour and a half wait in the airport, and then the flight, and the get out at the other end. By which time I'm there.
Yeah, I can literally get on a bus outside my house and be at East Midlands in 15, 20 minutes. So it's kind of all right. That is, it's good. And I suppose your other airports and that Manchester and that are a bit far, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 hours. I think we flew from Manchester the other week when we were away. It took us about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. So it's about the same.
We're going to have to wrap up quite soon, but just a couple of quick questions that I always ask our comedians when they come on. What's your best gig you've ever had?
My best gig? Oh, crikey. My best one, weirdly, was not the best one that I thought at the time. So I did an International Women's Day one with April in Sheffield. And to me, I froze. Like, between two bits that I do regularly, I froze, and I kind of went, oh, shit, what am I doing? And I was absolutely convinced that I'd, died. And then Jake gigged on the Tuesday, talking to George Coppen about, how I'd felt about this gig on the Sunday night. Shush, honey. There was a bloke sat behind me that I'd not clocked. I'd not realised he was there, and he turned round and he went, "But I was there. You were great." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's all right then." Because you don't, because I'd had to come home because obviously Jake was we'd got Little in here and Jake was at work the next morning, so I had to I'd not stayed for the whole thing, so you had not had chance to talk to people. So just to get that bit of validation, suddenly went, actually, yeah, no, that was all right. I quite enjoyed that then, and it was good.
Yeah. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, then you know what's coming next. Then, what's the worst gig you've ever had?
The worst one, probably ours.
Okay.
Weirdly, because I think it was a weird room. There were people in and out all the time, and I just wasn't particularly happy with it. Weirdly, I then did Debbie Holt's gig in Mansfield a week later. Did exactly the same set and roofed it. And I know you can't. I know you've tried to listen to that set, and it's quite painful to listen to because it was rowdy. But yeah, I think that's my favourite one, just because it got the interaction that I'd kind of always envisaged it would get, and yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I was a bit gutted about that because you could hear that you'd got laughter, but I couldn't hear what you were saying. So it was like, God, yeah, that lady. The first one that they did, I closed that, and yeah, it was okay, but there was one rowdy woman in that kept interrupting and stuff. But it did sound more rowdy when you did it than when I did it.
It was hard work. I mean, it was good, but it was good experience. But it was hard work. It's like the first one I did for Kyle Burnham down at
Boundary.
Boundary, and I think there were 8 people in the room. 6 of which had spent the day in the bar drinking and sniffing.
Oh dear.
And just would not shut up. And that was my first 5 minutes.
That gig, or is it? You don't do that.
No, he doesn't do that one anymore. But Jake said to me, "You sure you want to do this?" I'm like, "Look, if I'm going to give it a go, I'm going to get a gig like this at some point. I may as well just get it out of the way." And actually, they were quite good when I got on, so it was all right.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Final question from me, and then I'll hand you over to Charlie. If you could take yourself out of your body and go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice when you first started in comedy, what would that be?
When I first started in comedy.
So this is for everybody out there who wants to have a go, really.
For anybody that wants to give it a go, write 5 minutes and go do it. Don't tell anybody that that's what you're going to do. Just go and do it. And see what lands, see what doesn't, and until you've done 4 or 5, you won't know whether it's going to work. You won't know whether you're going to enjoy it, because your first 4 or 5 are terrifying, and then after that, you kind of settle into a rhythm. So yeah, anybody that's starting out, write a few gigs, go and give it a go. Or if you've given it a go and you want to do one of the courses, there's loads of people that are running really good courses. Controversially, I would not recommend the Ultra Comedy for anybody that wants to give it a go.
Controversial.
That's a bombshell. Yes, I don't really know much about ultra comedy. So, I mean, I did a course years ago. It's long gone, but great advice. I mean, I think it mirrors what a lot of other people have said, and certainly what I've said. You know, I did a Gong show. It was shite, but I still got the bug for it. Got a couple of laughs, and then I went and did a course. It was a 2 or 3 day course that I did, and then I went and did, and then started gigging. And it literally, it's the only job in the world where you don't know if you're any good at it until you actually do it. So it's almost like a surgeon turning up on his first day, and they say, right, can you remove this person's testicle?
Yeah.
And you do it on the job.
And also, don't let the nose put you off, because you're not going. Even though you apply for a gig, doesn't necessarily mean that you're suited to what they're looking for at that time. So don't let the nose put you off. And
I think as well that mirror that completely. When you apply for a gig, I applied for one for Spiky Mike. I was really hoping I was going to get it because it's Monday. Scott Bennett's headlining, Karen Bailey's opening, and it was a 10-minute in the middle. I messaged him, goes, "Have you filled it? Have you filled it?" He goes, "Yeah, we had 30 applications for one spot." So there's so many comedians out there. You've just got to. The cream will always rise to the top, though. So it's like you just keep going, Anyway, we are running out of time, so I will hand over to Mr. Everton.
Thank you. Anna, you've obviously listened to the pod loads of times, haven't you?
Yes.
I bet you
Sorry. You said you weren't going to vape on pod?
Yeah, you stressed me out.
It was. Calm down now, come on. So you know all about the Funnyfarm showdown?
What the fuck is that?
Right, okay.
We've done it as well.
We'll just have to dive right in.
Not even watched Jake's episode.
I know, yeah. Well, that's Jake's done it.
Do you know the weird thing is, right? The amount of times I start to watch a podcast and I'll get so far through and then something else will crop up and my ADHD goes, right, you're done with that now, go and do something else.
Right, okay.
Or you look and you go, I'm not listening to Chris again. Fuck that.
Yeah, we'll just have to wing it. We'll just have to wing it then. Right, it's okay. We ready?
Welcome to the Funny Farm. The lads are back, causing harm, talking shite but full of charm. It's the Funny Farm showdown.
If you need any jingles doing for your podcast, give us a shout. And welcome to this week's Funny Farm showdown. And today's subject is animals most likely to be a financial advisor.
Oh, an owl.
Oh, straight in there. You understood the concept straight away. That's amazing.
An owl. Yeah, wise. That's
why. Why?
Because they're wise and they're knowledgeable, and that's why owls should be financial advisors.
And you always imagine owls with coins, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So owl, definitely.
I think that's a good one. The bar's being raised high there, Chris. Well, he's going to come out with peacock. Either peacock or some sort of primate.
No. I am sticking with winged things, though.
Ooh.
I'm going to go. I think I've got you beat here because the owl is wise and knowledgeable, and I think if it was headmaster or teacher, you'd be right in that. But the magpie, right, steals silver. It knows what it's looking for. It knows the value. It doesn't just go.
They're just a thief.
It doesn't just go and pick up cans of pop. It goes and takes your jewellery, the silver. It lies.
Yeah, the magpie will give you some advice, and you'll end up in Nick.
Yeah. Because they're just going to tell you what to steal, aren't they? Not how to invest it.
Yeah. I'm not being funny, but a good financial advisor would do exactly the same. A good financial advisor tells you all the loopholes, how to avoid tax, how to do this, how to do that. That's what they do, mate.
No.
Magpie is the winner here. I don't give a fuck if you say the owl.
No.
I think you're blowing your own trumpet again, Chris, like you've done several times today. That's because you've had a rib taken out. Yeah.
Mate, I'd love to have a few ribs taken out.
That's really what he was doing on Tuesday. He wasn't.
Well, I tell you what, after that ultrasound, it fucking felt like it. She started here, and I'm like, that's quite painful, and it hadn't been before. And she said, it's just your ribs, that's all. I think it's because I've lost weight, and she never fucking found a rib before. Covered in blubber, I was like a seal. Get through to the actual bone structure. But anyway, that's the Funny Farm.
Anna was the clear winner there.
Yeah, I agree. Well done, Anna. We always like our guests to win.
Yeah. Well done, Anna.
I fucking won. Well done. It's been lovely to have you on, and I'll be honest with you, you've not even slagged Jake off once, really.
I did say he got tits.
You did say he's got, but we've all got nice tits, haven't we? I'm I'm like Barbara Windsor of the pod, I am.
I'm like Pamela Anderson without the hair.
Who are you?
Pamela Anderson without the hair.
You've got a look of Pam about you, mate. I can see you running down that beach.
Yeah.
In your Baywatch music. That's what you need.
Which was it? Some people. Yeah, that's the one, isn't
it? Michael Jackson. Anyway, right. You haven't slagged Jake off, so we'll give you one opportunity. Do you want to slag Jake off?
No.
He's a lovely boy, isn't he?
He is. He's great.
No, I'd say, as long as he can come home and do his jobs that he's supposed to do, I'll let him off.
And you're a cougar, aren't you? You're older than him. Yeah. You wouldn't tell. When you said it on stage, I thought it was going to be the other way around. I'll be honest.
Because for anybody that doesn't know, I'm 15 years older than Jake.
Oh, yeah. God, he's had a weight, hasn't he?
Yeah, we went out once and somebody told him to his face that he was older than me.
Yeah, he'll grow into his looks. Don't worry, he'll grow into his looks.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to give you full clarity, Anna's actually 75 years.
I've done something really wrong if I'm still working full time at 75. But yeah.
Or you love your job, because I want to be doing comedy. I want to die. I want to die on stage. I want to do the Sid James or the Tommy Cooper and die on stage. So. Do you have anything? This is going to literally. We normally have episodes ahead. So this would if you'd have been on a week or two ago, this wouldn't go out for a week. But this is going out at 8 o'clock tonight.
Excellent.
Yeah. So do you have anything you want to plug, or your socials? Any gigs that you want to promote?
So socials, Anna Brooks Comedy on Facebook and on Instagram. That makes it nice and simple to find. Upcoming gigs. I think the next one that's heading that way, we are 10th of July at Carter Lane, Jake and I both, for Debbie Holt. That's the next one. Other ones will be posted on my social because they're a little bit further out than that one, and I need to get some more gigs. So, get me on gigs if you've not got me on gigs already.
Yeah, I'd recommend you getting. In fact, who was it who messaged me the other day? Craig Shaw messaged me and said I might be able to offer Anna Brooks 10 minutes. Is she all right? And I said, yeah, she's very good. Get her on.
Nice. Thanks very much.
Hopefully you'll get that if you haven't already booked that in. So
Anna, quick one. Can I just? Have you got lots of followers on Facebook?
I'm up to about 100 and I've got more followers on Instagram. I've got 1,000 and something followers on Instagram. So do you want me to give you
followers? Ask all your followers to follow us.
You trying to get out of that?
I can get out of this shit.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Cheers, thanks, Anna.
People out there, let me just say this before we close off. If you like this pod and you want it to continue in the manner it is, we need followers, we need subscribers on YouTube, we need people to like our stuff, we need people to comment and all that good stuff. It helps that algorithm. I think on average we're getting about 70, 80 views on the pod a week. I've just worked that out. So we're not doing bad. 70, 80 people watching on a day-to-day basis. So it's pretty good. But we do need followers, and we definitely need to get him out of that jersey because it must fucking stink. I bet his wife hates it. If you like us, please go onto YouTube, subscribe, follow us, all that kind of stuff. Watch some of the videos, like them if you like them, dislike them if you don't, that's equally as good. Make some comments on those. But on Facebook, if you go onto Funnyfarm Pod on your own Facebook, there's 3 little dots. If you go onto the Funnyfarm Pod page, there's 3 little dots at the top of the screen. Click on that and it allows you to invite your friends. Click on invite friends, click on select all and invite all of your friends to follow Funnyfarm Pod on Facebook. I don't think there's a function to do that on Instagram. But, you know, there's certainly, if you were to put a post on your Facebook, Anna, it will probably share to Instagram. So if you could just give us a shout out, that would be lovely. Get Jake to do the same.
Yeah.
Please write into us at hello@funnyfarmpod.co.uk. Like us on all the social media. You can follow me on Facebook. It's just Chris Richmond, and on Instagram and TikTok, it's at Chris Rich Comedian on both of those. Please give me a follow. I've been uploading loads of bollocks. So yeah, if you want to go and listen to that and watch that, then please do. It's been absolutely superb having you on.
Absolutely, yeah, brilliant.
Anything? Have I missed anything, guys? Have I missed anything?
No, don't think so.
Excellent. Okay, well, we will see you next time. As I say, get out there, follow us, subscribe, all that kind of shit. Thank you so much for coming on, Anna. It's really nice to have you on, and fucking 56 minutes, and you didn't even really slag your husband off, which is marvellous. You doesn't get to seconds on stage without doing so. Anyway, love you all. We will see you soon.
Bye-bye.